What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today's video, the footage is from last week, and I was actually getting into some big numbers. So I'm now 5 weeks out officially as of yesterday from the Commonwealth Championships, where I'll be taking home the gold medal and winning the treble, which is the Euros, Commonwealths and also the Worlds this year. But what the video is about maintaining perspective, and what I mean by that is maintaining perspective about your current situation when it comes to your training. So often when you are emotionally involved in something, it can be very difficult to make emotional, rash, impulsive and irrational decisions, and you can lose perspective. And that's often also why it's very, very important to maybe have a really good training partner or a good mentor or a coach, or all three, and they will be able to help you maintain perspective. So for example, if you are maybe a couple of weeks out from competition and you're feeling very, very fatigued, or training's maybe not going as well as you would have hoped it would have been, or you're just not quite as pleased with how things are going as maybe you would like, it's often really, really good to be able to take a step back, kind of try and remove yourself from your own shoes and be able to maintain perspective. So for example, so often, people will hit, an example, someone might hit a new RP9 single. So they hit a single RP9, which would universally be 1 rep left in the tank, and then that single could be a new 1 rep max. So they've literally just hit an all-time personal best at an RP of 9, but they are disappointed about it because maybe they're feeling a bit more fatigued than normal, or maybe it just didn't quite move the way they would have wanted it to move, or maybe technically it wasn't what they would have hoped for it to be. All those different factors come into it, and they then start beating themselves up, being really annoyed at it, being really angry and putting themselves down. And that's where it's important to remain to be able to remain perspective, keep perspective on the situation, is that you might not be feeling good, you might be feeling very fatigued, but under that state where you're not performing as optimally as you will be once you taper off the fatigue and taper the fatigue debt, you just hit an all-time new personal best. Or even if you didn't hit a new personal best, if you're right on track with your numbers and you're hitting all your numbers. So again, if you're performing the movements to a high standard, you're hitting all the numbers you're meant to be hitting, and your weight's on track for your competition, then you're right on track and you're exactly where you're meant to be. Just because you're not feeling that good is kind of irrelevant. And again, that's where keeping perspective can be so important in any aspect of life whatsoever. And one thing we need to realise is, just because you're not feeling good in training isn't that big a deal. How you feel in training is of less importance than how you're going to perform on competition day. Me personally, I would not care if I didn't feel good all training cycle, as if once I tapered and lost the fatigue that on competition day I felt really good and hit some PBs. So just kind of some food for thought. It's always good to try and take a step back and actually look at the perspective of the situation and not just make irrational decisions and allow your irrational mindset to progress into beating yourself up and being very disappointed to what might be exactly as planned and might have you exactly where you need to be. So that's just some food for thought, to always try to take a step back and keep some perspective, and sometimes even have individuals in your life that are able to improve your perspective, or allow you to see the perspective of the situation. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you next time.